Janet, one of the senior members that sometimes leads the meditation. And we're going to start off with, well, actually, we're going to do two practices this morning that was given to us by one of our guiding lamas. He is a lama from Tibet. And these two practices are really very suitable for everyone, whether you're a beginner or if you're a seasoned practitioner. It's really just a practice to develop mindfulness, to develop attention. And later on, I'm going to talk a little bit about the benefits of developing mindfulness in our lives. But let us just explain a little what we're going to do. First of all, it's very important to have the right posture when we meditate. We try to sit with our back straight, but also relaxed, not too stiff. Just making sure that the spine is as straight as you can have it. And this is so that the energies of the body can flow freely through this column that we have. We really want the energies to flow up towards our crown. So whether you're sitting in a chair or a cushion, just make sure you have a straight back. And also be sure you're relaxed. Keep your shoulders relaxed. If you're sitting in a chair, keep both feet on the ground. On a cushion, just fold your legs in whichever position is more comfortable for you. Place your hands on the knees, either facing down or up if you like in that position. Try to keep the neck relaxed. Keep your chin just a little bit tucked down. And in order to relax this area of the body, just open your mouth slightly. And this will help to keep all this area here relaxed a little bit more. We, in our lineage, we like to practice with our eyes open. And this is because we really want to develop a sense of mindfulness throughout our daily lives. So just keeping the eyes open helps us to just be mindful at all times. But if you're new to meditation, you find this too distracting, it's fine to close your eyes. If you have your eyes open, just keep it slightly open with very soft gaze right in front of you, about 3 feet in front of you. And what we're actually going to do is just observe our breath. We want to just breathe normally. There's no special way of breathing. Just keep your breath as you normally do, but observe how it goes in and out of your body. Some people like to concentrate on a certain area of the body. You can concentrate on a chakra that's a energy circle that is about 3 finger widths below your navel, 3 finger widths deep. Or you can just observe how it goes in and out of your nose in that area. The important thing is to really just feel the breath. Feel yourself being breathed in. Feel yourself being breathed out. And as we do this, you're going to notice that your mind is going to wander. And this is very natural. But whenever you do notice that your mind has wandered, just go back to the breath. And one technique that's good to use is whenever you see you're thinking of something, just say, thinking, thinking. Go back to the breath. And by labeling the thought, it really sort of loses its power over you. So that's one of the reasons we do that. So we're going to do this for a few minutes. After a few minutes, we're going to chant a sacred syllable. The syllable is hung. The syllable is related to enlightened mind, and it sort of helps to clear the mind a little to just chant it for a few seconds. So each person will chant at their own pace, and then it will naturally die down, and you'll go back to observing the breath. So let us begin. Let us chant Hung. Go back to the breath. Let us chant Hung. Back to the breath. Let us chant Hung one more time. Go back to the breath. This practice we just did is a practice that you can do on your own. If you're new to meditation, it's good to just do it in short intervals. It could be like 5 minutes each, 10 minutes. You can do it throughout the day. And slowly you can extend the time, just whatever is comfortable for you. I'd like to talk a little bit about the benefits of mindfulness and doing this practice we just did. If you do it on a either a daily basis or quite frequently, you will find that that your mind will change in different ways. So let's just talk a little bit about the different qualities of mind that will appear with the practice of mindfulness. Well, you have mindfulness itself, and mindfulness is really just being present in the present moment, being aware of whatever is going on around you in the present moment. it's a part of being awake, because you'll notice that most of the time we're just lost in our thoughts. If we just observe what it is that you're doing, it develops. For example, there's certain qualities of mindfulness. There's the quality of not forgetting where you are, what you're doing. There's also the quality of being present, presence of mind, just being there face to face with whatever is happening in front of you. And it also has an important quality that it makes you remember what things are beneficial for you and what is non-beneficial. And what I mean by non-beneficial, there's certain qualities that are non-beneficial according to Buddhism, which is greed or attachment or wanting, clinging to things, and also aversion or dislike or trying to get away from a certain thing. There's also the quality of not realizing that everything changes, that nothing lasts forever. So if you just keep in mind, whenever you see that you are clinging to something, well, just say, oh, I'm clinging, and just let it go. Sometimes we can't, we're doing something that we know is non-beneficial, but, you just being aware that it is non-beneficial, slowly you'll see that you can detach yourself from it. Also, mindfulness is very associated with wisdom, in the sense, like I said before, once you realize that everything really changes, nothing stays forever, then that also is a part of becoming or acquiring wisdom through mindfulness. And as we do this, we become to discern. Like I said before, we become to say, okay, there are certain things that I'm doing that is non-beneficial for me. So you start to notice these patterns and these habits that we have, that it's really causing us to suffer in life, or irritating us, or causing us to get that sense of loss. Once we have that discernment, it's much more easier to just let go of that. You sort of also, in discernment, become aware that that the person that you've constructed yourself to be is really not as real as we think it is, and you become to see that you are sort of really much more looser than you believe yourself to be. And also, this opens up this understanding that others are the same as we are. So, as we do this, we acquire energy. And in this energy, it motivates us to, in our practice, to practice with more firmness, more strength. But at the same time that we do this, we have to be very careful, because we have to have a sort of balancing act to not get too tight and also to not get too loose. When we notice that we're, for example, if in our practice we say, I don't want to think about anything, you're sort of like being too tight. You got to loosen it a little. Just let it be. But you can't be too loose, because once you get too loose, then your attention falls away. So in observing the breath, you observe the breath. When you see that you've lost your concentration on the breath, just let it. Don't judge yourself. Don't be too tight. Just say, okay, go back to the breath. Let the thought go. As we do this and we get to a good balance between being too tight or too loose, we get to a certain point when in our practice we begin to experience a certain bliss or rapture. And this is quite natural once you've developed it. The danger here is that you get too lost in that bliss. You want to keep that bliss, and the bliss will go away because, as we said before, everything changes. The good experience will finally fade away. And if we try to grasp onto it, then our practice uh, becomes disruptive. So we have to be aware, once again, of that balancing act, of not trying to cling on to those blissful moments. It's natural that they occur, and it's natural that they just fade away. Then, as we get to that point where we are at a balance, we experience calm. And this calm is very natural. One good thing about calmness is once you get to it, you find that desire goes away. So that clinging that we had before fades away. We're calm, very relaxed. Also, at those moments that we are calm, they say that we are more sincere. We're more able to be ourselves and not tell little fibs. So, as we get to that point of calmness, our concentration develops much more powerfully. Whether it's observing the breath or observing an object, we see that we strengthen the concentration. We can be for a longer time concentrated on that object without any disruptions of thoughts or desires, clinging. And once we get to that point, we get to a point where we can experience equanimity. And this is the one of the great qualities to experience from developing mindfulness. Equanimity is it's really what gives you peace and calmness in your daily lives. It brings evenness to whatever is occurring around you. And by evenness, well, let's talk a little bit about the things that might disturb evenness. There are certain what they call vicissitudes that bring us disbalance in our lives. Loss and gain would be one. Gain when it could be money or it could be whatever we desire. We gain it and then we can lose it. And this gain brings us much pleasure. Loss brings us suffering or sorrow or distress. Another thing that could disturb our balance would be praise and blame. When someone praises you, you feel great. When someone blames you, you don't feel. It makes you feel bad. And another would be fame and disrepute, which is really just a more general sense of praise and blame. Fame and disrepute are other things that could make you feel very happy, fame, and then when it goes away or something terrible happens, you lose your reputation, it makes you feel very upset. And then pleasure and pain, happiness and sorrow. These are things that we're going to experience throughout our daily lives. But when we have equanimity, we can experience all that and be undisturbed. What equanimity brings is a balance to whatever it is. You no longer feel distressed if you lose something, and you may not feel so deliriously happy when something good happens to you. And a lot of people think, well, if I don't feel that, then I'm being just it's just being indifferent to life. And really, it is not indifference. What's happening here is that we're developing wisdom, because as we develop wisdom, we realize that all of these vicissitudes come and go. Nothing stays forever. You can have gain, and the next day you can lose all your money, you have loss. Or you can have loss and eventually you'll come back with and gain money or whatever it is that you've lost. So all of this is really just knowing that whatever occurs, it's not going to be forever. So this is really a quality that occurs especially after we have that sense of concentration. When we have concentration in our practice, what happens is all the hindrances, everything that can disturb us is not there anymore. And when we get to that point, our mind becomes to strengthen in a natural balance. As we get that natural balance, we develop that equanimity, and eventually it will manifest in our daily lives. You'll see that whatever occurs will not disturb you as much as before. And the Buddha used to say, the greatest happiness is peace, and equanimity brings peace. So I just want you to keep that in mind. So you see how this practice can transform your life in a positive way. So we're going to have a break now, about 10 minutes, and when we come back, we'll do a short practice, and you're free to get up and walk around. There's refreshments and bathrooms in the front. If you'd like to just stay and be quiet, it's perfectly all right. And also, we're passing around a book of names. And in this book, we put the names of people we'd like to dedicate our practice to. Okay, we're going to do our last practice, and this is a short practice, also given to us by Atsun Rinpoche. And basically, this practice is it's good because, in Buddhism, we always do everything for the benefit of others. So it's a practice where we sort of share what the good qualities that we've accumulated by doing this practice, and we share it with others. So what we're going to do is just start off as we did in the prior practice, just for a few minute or two. We'll just relax, observe our breath a little, calm down, and then I'm going to ask that you do a visualization. And as we do this visualization, we're going to chant another sacred syllable, which is Ah. And sacred syllable Ah, we're only going to chant it once at 3 different times, 3 different visualizations. So let us just begin. Go back to observing the breath. First time we chant Ah, we're going to visualize at our heart center an orb of white light. It's a pure white light. And in this white light is all the good qualities that we have within us at this time. And as we chant Ah, this white light will spread throughout your body. It will enter and light up every cell in your body. The second time, we're going to visualize this white light that is within us being sent out to each person in this room. Each one of us will send out white light, and each one of us will receive white light. The third time we chant, we're going to visualize this white light spreading throughout the city, throughout the country, throughout the world, and throughout all the universe, to all living beings everywhere. We're going to dedicate our practice now, and on this sheet there is a part called dedication, or yes, dedication. We'll recite that. First I'm going to read the names, and all the people that are listed here we keep in mind, and we hope that whatever good qualities we've accumulated will be sent to them. All sentient beings. Juan Montes in the Bardo, Tom Brunson in the Bardo, Gina, Claudette Killens, Stephen Hall, Donnie Johnson, Tony and her baby, John, Jessica, Jasmine, Jeevan, Bobby, all ill children. Is uh, J- I'm not sure what it says. Jadal, Porter, Carson, all those who are suffering, Rachel, David, Sam, Danielle, Cape, Allison, Ty, and Kirian Trainer, Ellen, Triton and family, Holly, Kate M, S&M, S&S, um, Eleanor Day, George, Daniel, James, Sarah, and Stuart, people affected by war, Ebola victims and caregivers, Lydia Pinto, Michael Jerding, Thelma Mureto, Arcadia Penalosa and family, Barlow family, Luca family, Etta B., City of Wilkinson, Bob Shepard, Janine Bestello and family, Paula Gutierrez and family, Sue Seeley and Bardo, Anja Franklin, David Attenborough and Bardo, Katie Faulkner, Algin family, Lauricilla family, Bella Villa family, Felicity, Renee, Evan, Allen. By this good may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground. Let us also do aspiration. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. For as long as space abides, as long as the world remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. Before we leave, I'd like to speak a little bit about certain activities we have. Well, I think we're ending our series. You know, we have every first and third Thursday, we have Teaching Tuesdays, which is when Ann and Harvey are here. And we will be ending a series of teachings that they gave during the summer that was about equanimity, which I talked about today. And I just want to mention once more, equanimity is very important in Buddhism and in the development of, if you're following a spiritual path, especially, it's very important. And it's also part of what's called the boundless states. The boundless states are what is it? Loving kindness, compassion, what else? Joy, aspirational joy, and equanimity. Those are the four boundless states. But equanimity is really what keeps in balance all of them. So that's why we give so much importance to equanimity. And in the Ann and Harvey will be starting a series called Entering and Deepening the Boundless States. So we started with equanimity, and we're going to go on with joy and compassion and loving kindness. So this will start on September 12th, and it will go on until, I believe, the end or the beginning of December, more or less, right? Also, we do have, I believe there is an activity called Mindfulness for Moms. It started, right? It's, oh, on when? September. Oh, okay. It will start September 16th. Mindfulness for Moms, and that's going to be on Tuesdays in the morning from 10 to 11 a.m. in the morning. So this is especially designed for stay-at-home moms that would like to come and just have a peaceful hour to meditate. And I believe there will be someone, if you have children, there will be someone here, or oh no, oh okay. It's probably better for people, for moms that have children in school, and they can come and practice here for 1 hour. There's also, well, right now we have the children's program. Is it full? Uh, this Mary Scott is our executive director, and she knows much more about the activities.
Well, the Mindfulness for Moms is on Tuesday mornings, and it is actually going to be kind of a discussion as well as practice group. We're going to base it on a book called The Conscious Parent. And its sign-ups are going on now, and if you want more information about that, you can talk to either me or Simone, who's leading the children's program. This is the second week of our Mindful Discovery program for kids from 9 to 12. So it means there are 4 more Sundays in that series, and if you would be interested, if you have any 9 to 12-year-olds in your life who could benefit, bring them on, because we're not full. Later in the fall, we'll be offering our Kind Mind, Happy Life, which is our program for 4 to 8-year-olds. And that will begin on a Sunday in October. But there's one other thing I want to say, which is this Tuesday, September 2nd, 2 nights from now, Ann and Harvey will be here to offer a free intro to meditation at Dawn Mountain and a kind of a preview of the fall series of Teaching Tuesdays. So if you missed the equanimity series, you can get a little crash course in equanimity. Wow, that's an oxymoron. Followed by a little bit of preview of what's coming up in the rest of the 4 Boundless states. And it's free, and everyone is invited. Bring your friends. We get going at 7 o'clock on Tuesday. What Tuesday, sorry? This coming Tuesday, September 2nd, yes. And then in 2 weeks, we have our fall retreat, again about the Boundless states. And this is a retreat that's suitable for everyone, newcomers and advanced practitioners alike. There's much more information on this and more on flyers in the lobby, or you can talk to me. And there are also quite a few folks around in this group who are longtime practitioners. We all identify yourselves. We have Gary here who's on the board. Flynn is there. Rich and Paula, who are our welcomers today. And of course, Janet can answer questions if anybody has so. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Rinpoche's message, we'll have a special message
Yes.
from Rinpoche on the 13th
Yes.
during the our guiding teacher who is in China, in Tibet, very brave soul, has sent us a message that will be shown during the retreat on the 13th. And also we have Robert Thurman coming, and I don't know, you want to finish off on that one?
This is big. And I would really appreciate it if everybody would leave here with a postcard today about our event on September 27th. This is a cooperative venture with the Rothko Chapel, but we are bringing 2 extraordinarily well-regarded mindfulness leaders to Houston in the form of Robert Thurman and Sharon Salzberg. If you don't know who they are, talk to me. And they will lead a day-long workshop at the Rothko on Saturday, September 27th from 10 to 3. There will be lunch. And if anybody is interested in sponsoring that program, because believe it or not, we actually have to pay them quite a bit to do this, we still have those opportunities available. And anyone who is named as a sponsor then gets to come to dinner on Friday night with Bob and Sharon at Gail DeGuerin's house. So that's a pretty good deal. But yeah, please tell your friends. We have 150 seats, and we'd really like to sell it out. It's going to be amazing.
I understand they're being sold out pretty quick. And just if you don't know who Robert Thurman is, it's probably Crash, but it's one way to say it. He was named by Time magazine as one of the 20 most influential people in the world. So if you're not familiar with him, it's somebody worth getting familiar with.
Oh, that's right.
There you go. And what he's really famous for.
found
That's
this
what
red house in
Very, very.
But being
You
Emma's
just
dad's
nailed
what's important.
Oh, exactly.
Just like us, when we get called, oh, that's, you're the dad or mom of somebody.
Well, thank you all for coming, and I hope to see you again. Yeah.